Hey guys, Legacy or JPS here, and here we are looking at the Masquerade Double O Riser. This is the 7 sword G version, so no O Riser this time. So I don't have to go through over a lot with this because we already seen it with the base Double O Riser I done with those Masquerades, so we can skip a lot of that. So overall, the build is practically identical to building the Double O Riser or the XN Riser. The head, the body, and the arms, the same. The back and the shoulders, the same. Same thing with the GN drives. Which means, at base, Double O Riser needs 3 LEDs. So, one for each GN drive and one for the body to light up the head, which may or may not show up. Let me see if I can... Damn it. So the head one isn't as bright. I think the LED in there is kind of being a troll to me right now, but it is lighting up, and it does help if you use the black outline sticker for the eyes, so that it kind of hides some of the green light showing through. Especially if this was really bright, then that would really help it. But the shoulder ones are doing okay. Even though I just put these LEDs in like not too long ago. Yeah, I think it's not the batteries it's the issue, it's the LEDs themselves. So that can't be helped. Now, normally Double O Riser we need 5, 3 for the Gundam and 2 for the O Riser. XN Riser is the same thing, 3 for the Gundam and 2 for the O Riser. Technically you could just get away with 3 because you don't need any for the O Riser in that one. This one needs only 4 because you get 3 for the body and 1 for one of its weapons. Also, it comes with the same amount of stickers. Like, comes with the sticker sheet that's, you know, the same as usual. And it comes with the dry transfer. So you get this sticker sheet and you get this sticker sheet. Now, I didn't use all the stickers here for, you know, reasons. There's stickers in here for the eyes. There's 2 sets for the eyes. This is for like the back of the head. I know this silver one is for the front. I'm not sure about this one though. Not sure about these two, because they're not for the head. They might be for the weapons. I know one of these 2 sets up here is for the head and the ears, but I didn't use them. Get the legs and the arms. The green ones down here are all for one of its weapons, and that's about it, because I know these silver ones down here are supposed to, I know this one here and this one next to it, these go in the head, but I'm not using them. Like I said, there's a few stickers that goes here and there in spots, but I just didn't use them. What you don't get to make is the GN condensers in this one, so you don't get to make that. Now on this one there is another set of stickers. I think these were supposed to be for the head. I accidentally messed up when I was trying to peel these off, because I think these would have been clearer, just transparent enough that if you put them in the head and let the light shine through, you can see the writing on them. I'm not sure about this one for the back of the head, but I know with the eyes this one works good. I think this one in the back of the head would have just completely shut it out though. And then you got your, you know, little set of dry transfer stickers, or your little dry transfer sheet. Now, overall, everything up here is the same build as the normal Double O, except for when you get down to the legs. This blue part and these parts here, these are new. So you don't have the normal white cover, you just have that over there. And there's also a different part you put on for connecting the front skirt to, or the front piece to, and that's about it. So overall, it's the same build overall for building a Double O kit. So like I said, if you built one Double O Riser one double O master grade, you built pretty much every one. The head, all from head all the way down to feet, is the same overall inner frame and everything. The only difference is on this one is down here the legs, and that's it. And the weapons, and if you have to build a backpack. So if there's no riser, so you know there's no GN Sword 3, but this one does come with the big weapons, so there's that. So let's get on to the accessories so we can get this over with. So for accessories, you do get a pair of beam sabers. So this should count as the first sword, because he is called 7 Sword G, so we're going to have to count down for 7 swords. So if everything is in pairs, it will probably come out to being one more, but I think these count. 2 beam sabers count as 1, so you got this. So this is your pair of beam sabers, so you got that. You also get another set of hands, just like you would with the double O riser and the XN riser. So if you was having a GN Sword 3 to hold, or a the GN Sword 3, or maybe any other weapons, big weapons, these weapons will be there for you. Or like XN Riser's Buster Sword, this would be that weapon you use. You also get an extra set of fingers, or so these can go switching up with the open ones on the other hands. And you get an action-based connector. Also, because this is a different double O kit, he is not going to be back heavy. I'm saying this right now. This one will not be back heavy as the others, because there's no XN riser or double O riser on his back or on his shoulders. He will have stuff on the shoulders, but that's about it. So that's just a balancing issue with him. So the next thing is first thing to get on him would be his GN guitars. You get 2 of these. They're made the same and everything. There is a little peg in here, right here, that little gray part right there at the top on that little blue section. That's a peg that I had plugged in there, but I do not want to pop it out. Also, if you notice, these handles are differently set. They're angled, so they're not set straight, they're set angled. So one is going up towards the left, the other is up towards the right. So when you store these on his legs, they have the same angle going forward on them. I'm pretty sure you can still connect these together like so at the base, like right there. So yeah, you can still do this, and if you extend one hand out, whatever, you can do this. Or I'm pretty sure he can still use this like a shield in such a way. You also can plug this into his hand like so to use it as a melee weapon. Or if you want to make him dual wield them, you get this little connector piece here, and you just connect both of them into it on the blue parts, and basically he has a dual wielding weapon, which he can hold in both hands, because there's a handle, there's a slot here and a slot here. You don't need the holding hands for this, because this is not a super heavy weapon. You can just use the normal hands, and he can hold it. Now I'm just cheesing this one for now, because I don't want to try to fight to peg this in his hand. Because I already know that the worst is yet to come. So yeah, there you go. He can hold it in his hand, but this is just lazy ass holding, so sorry. This lazy holding of in the hand, but I'm not trying, but he can hold this, and if you want, make him hold it in both hands. So that is an option and is viable. Now you can't sort the handle anywhere but the guitars. They both, one goes on each hip, knee joint area. So yeah, he can basically sort there, and they can rotate fully around. So basically, if he was taking a knee, the guitar would not get in the way at all whatsoever. And I did not need his front, that piece to pop off. And trying to pop it back in. Now it doesn't want to go back in. But yeah, the guitars do not get in the way whatsoever. Especially if he was taking a knee. So there is that. I mean, yes, they kind of pop off easily, but I think that's a good thing. I guess because this is a MSV, maybe he would have to purge them off or something. But I don't think he would have any reason to, quote unquote, purge them off. And yeah, you already know how I feel about 00 kits in general, and you know, their legs. Well, not their legs in general, but you know, their feet in general. I already made this clear though that 00 kits are nice, but they have the worst feet ever in terms of like kits, and 00 is no exception. Like, I forgave it because he was back heavy, but this is like one time it's like, you have no real excuse for this. You're not back heavy. You're probably going to be side heavy and leaning over, but that's not an issue. So I'm back. The next weapon to look up is his GN2 longsword. I gotta say it right. GN2. This is not like the GN Sword 2s and the GN Sword 3. No, this is GN2 longsword. They put the number first. So this is a different design from the normal one. You can probably already see something hanging off at the bottom that makes this different. So in sword form, it looks, you know, normal enough as it is. When you switch it to blaster form, I guess either way, it depends on if he was holding this left-handed or right-handed, but they depict him holding this right-handed. This sword actually has a handle here in the blade part, so he can hold it he can hold it with both hands like so. And I'm gonna try this, but I'd rather take the guitars off. And oh geez, these feet, I'm sorry, they are like the worst. And give me a second, I want to put the guitars back as one with the handle. This one does not require the need to use the other hand. So the basic hands here are good enough for this. And like I said, me trying to pick this in his hand while, you know, I'm behind the camera is usually sometimes hard. So that's it in the hand, but now I'm going to have to do the hard part and bring the other arm over. I am so tempted to glue those in there, but I don't want to for reasons. But yeah, it's not pegged in, but he is holding it. So that's him holding the GN2 longsword. He can hold it in both hands, even though I'm kind of cheesing the second one. Just had the hand gripped around the handle. But yeah, he is holding it, and he can actually be looking at something like, I'm going to shoot. So yeah, it does look pretty menacingly. It looks decent enough. I can't complain. Now compare this to the normal, GN2 swords. The GN Sword 2s. I gotta get used to saying that because 00 do some weird naming with weapons. Now comparing to the normal ones, I don't know. I kind of have a personal preference for the older ones though. The normal ones over this, but it's still functional and he does make it look well. And when this is not in use, this is stored. Oh great, the thumb popped off. Luckily I saw this and it popped off right in front of him, so it didn't go try to rolling behind my desk. So this is stored. The GN longsword is stored, and I wish this thing would hold in place and stop popping off, on the left hip. So I'll put it in second sword mode, and you would store it basically on his left hip, like so, like all other swords are stored. And yeah, that gives me aneurysms as well. So we're not going to store them up there yet. We'll do that for the end, when I try to store everything up here on him. So just bear with me until then. Next up is the GN2 short sword. This is a sword only weapon. And the thing about this, I'm not sure if you can probably see it, but you can probably see like a gap in there. Well, this is basically a sword that comes with a wire, which is this piece. And basically you plug in one end into here. I forgot the wire is supposed to bend. Plug one into there and the other into here, and basically you can have a wire sword. You can have this thing shooting off however you want it to do. And you can hold this one really well, no issues. And this one is stored on the right hip, like any other sword would be stored. Now that would be it for like base stuff, but now we get into the heavy duty stuff, and oh boy. I'm going to make sure I have the hands ready on site, because I'm going to have to use these anyways. So first up is the GN2 blaster, GN2 sword blaster. And let me start. Yeah, GN sword 2 blaster. What the heck does that mean? Is basically this: a GN sword that is actually a blaster. It doesn't transform. It's a sword because you have the big green blade part here. It's a blaster because you got your barrel at the tip here. And you also got your, I guess, your sight scope up here as well. And it's not one-handed. It is actually two-handed because there is another handle right here that pops out. So yeah, this big thing is a G and sword 2 blaster. And I think this is where the G part of the 7 sword G comes into play. Like, I tried to count this to see what makes up the 7 swords. The long sword and the short sword makes up 1 and 2. The guitars would probably be 3 and 4. Beam sabers would be 5. Well, 5 and 6. Let me see. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And I guess the last one would be 7, and this could be... No, because this is a sword too, so this is 1, 2, so... The long and short is 1 and 2. The guitars is 3 and 4. Beam sabers is 5. This would be number 7, and the other one is number 6. I think that's how you count them. I don't know, but I know it's a 7 sword G. Storage for this thing, I should get that right off the back. It's stored on the right shoulder, like so, up in here. And I think I got that piece in there right. I forget how to store this in there. I know it gets stored on the shield, and is also kind of depicted as the weapon it is normally holding into battle. Okay, so I see what I need to do. So if I flip the handles up like so, I think, actually no, you want to flip the handles open, so when it's stored, it is stored like so. The blue part facing forward, so the blade part is forward. So yeah, he is now heavy on that side. But that was all I needed to show for that. Now let's see if I can get this into his arm. This is going to be the hard part whatsoever I do. And I need to find the... Okay. I got the trigger hand. We got the holding hand, which is this hand in general. Because the other one is too tight. It would make it a super tight squeeze, and he couldn't hold it anyways. And it covers up the... Yeah, I can't use the other one because it covers up the handle anyways. I mean, the peg. I'm glad Bandai thought ahead with this, but oof, they could have done better. So, I'm going to flip this handle out and push. His thumb just flew off. Well, luckily, I think it just popped on my shoulder and then popped onto the ground, so lucky me. So the arm is in there, and I think just peg this arm in here like so. You don't bring that handle, don't bring the other handle down, and I just peg this into the arm like such. I'm actually nervous about doing this because yeah, this doesn't seem like it's gonna work well. And there, that other handle doesn't stay up. You bring it down and over. But yeah, there's this 7 sword G, and actually that looks, it's holding it really well. But you can imagine, because this is a lot of plastic on something, he is gonna have weight issues with this thing. Actually, he's not, but I saw something else happening. He doesn't have weight issues, he's holding it up well, but due to the nature of his arm, so you know what's going to happen. If you know anything about this, And if I don't take care of it, if I leave them like this for I don't know how long, I already know what's going to happen in, say, maybe a week or so from now, give or take that, is that gravity is going to affect the arm and pull it down from the connector port or the connector socket. So if you're going to do this, I advise you give this thing support for the arm to do this, some kind of arm support, because if you don't, yeah, you're going to have issues. And also these green parts are now just driving me up a wall crazy now, because they do not like holding in to where they belong. So excuse me 1 second while I, do the smart thing and fix this. And by fix, I mean we take super glue or modeler's glue to do this. The cement glue. So there. So with his arm bent now like this, it's fine, because this is normally how he is holding it. This is his primary weapon he's supposed to hold. But like I said, this is fine. Now, unless I augment the weight somehow to make it so like, yeah, he can do this, it's not gonna do him no favors. And just like before with the sword, the long sword, he can also grip this. If I can get his fingers to grip around it. And well, I can already see the peg, his finger was coming unpeg. So yeah, he was already, he was coming unpeg from the hand and the back. And that other arm part too. So, well, that has happened. I'm not going to say I wasn't expecting it, but it was bound to happen. I mean, that is to be expected with something like this, with, an oversized sword. Not like he's compensating for anything, it's just... It's not its fault, it's just the nature of the model itself. So I was going to try to get him to hold it with both hands, but I think we'll skip that, because I don't want to, forcibly keep trying to do something that may or may not work. I mean, the manual shows that you can do it, but I am not going to force it or try. So the last one, and this is where the other LED is I gotta make sure I'm calling this right, which I'm pretty sure I know what it is. GM Buster Sword 2. This thing is tall. Now, this thing closed up. It's like already as tall as he is. And as you can see, you see green kind of like right here and other spots. So let me close this so we can see this better. Ow. So you can see green. That's an LED. So you can see like green up here, shining through here. This middle one is funny because that's actually where the center part is for the LED. Yeah, that's like direct center where the LED is. So you're like, okay, so is it just supposed to be like this? But no. If I pull down the handle opens. If I pull down, let me do this again. When I pull down on this on the handle here, sorry you can't see because of a light. I want to keep this for the light show. When I pull down on the handle here, this opens up. It slides down really like a hole in here, and the handles swing open. Got a little hole there. And actually this right here, that little clip there, or that little peg is there, that's for the connector that's supposed to be closed anyways. Yeah, this little part here is the part that connects onto his left shoulder. And you also get a spare handle here, which feels really soft. So I'm a little okay with it, but I'm also nervous that it could break easily. Now the handle is out, but what about the rest? Well, if you pull up on this white part, everything expands open, and now you see more of the clear part, more of the stuff shining through. So what it is so what's inside of here is where the LED is shining into is a clear part that expands to these 4 points around here, but then also a long part that extends up to here. So that's basically what it is. It's just a clear part that actually extends really far up and around here. So it's like LED, and then you know clear parts let the light travel through them. Hence, like the Master Unicorn Extreme. This came out before Unicorn Extreme anyways, so the clear part is just traveling through all around, which is the same concept with the clear part. Well, that's clear green, which is shooting up into from the body into the neck, and then that shoots around in there. But yeah, this is just a big clear part inside of here, or a long one, that really lets it shine out. The sword has 2 handles, and since we're done with the light show, I can actually put this, we can actually let some light shine through. So there is 2 grip handle, there's 2 holes in the handle here. There's one here at the base, and there's one here. I have not tried to have him hold this because I know this will probably be a nightmare. And I don't know if I want to try this or not, but we're going to try this. Also, this is also considered where this part is. This is also considered like a shield part too. So like he could be using it to defend himself if it was in storage. If he was like, you know, okay, I got to protect myself. And like I said, this is just a sword. A massive buster sword that gravity will take hold of it. I'm sorry. Gravity is just going to take hold of that thing. But it's impressive looking nonetheless. And if you wanted to, you can swing the arm around and everything and have this hold onto the handle down there. But yeah, I'm not going to try that. But hey, this hand actually is holding on to it and not letting go. So that's a good thing. So yeah, like I said, he can hold it like so at that base of the handle down there. It's funny because he's not actually holding it. It's just sitting in there. So yeah, it could be like a shield of some sort if he was like, block. On this hand, I don't know how well that's going to work. No, because the handle is far outward, so that would be awkward. I think it's more like an extra grip handle for him to wield it. because looking at the manual of this, yeah, he wields it with his left hand, but he's also shown to use it like a shield. He's wielded with the right hand, but he's also shown to almost have this thing like a shield in the right and his left hand. He wields it in the left, wields it in the right, but kind of shields himself with it in the right. So it's somehow, I guess it's like so. He's wielding it like so. Because I don't see him having this thing. It can't be pegged into his arm. No, because that peg would not fit. And that wouldn't look right either, just how it's sitting there. So my guess is maybe he's wielding it like so. Because that's how they kind of show it. Like, there's art that in the manual. Actually, I think I need to switch hands for this one too. Well, it's just going to slide out either way. Well, hopefully it won't, but actually, what I was trying to do is not working for me, because what the art, some of the art in the book shows, and well, in the manual, it shows it holding it in the left arm. Oh crap. But it looks like it's holding it. Yeah. Like so, like in such a way like this, where like, you know, it's protecting the arm, like he's gripping it. And I did not need his, you know, great. What I did not need to happen was this to pop off. So I don't get what they got at with this, but it was shown that he was holding it. Looks like he was holding this in his left arm as like a shield or some sort, because there's nothing in the manual that shows that up being the thing. Because here, I'm going to show you a picture from the manual. I'm going to slide him back before I fix this. So if the camera base will lock in. So that picture right there, that's showing him holding it in his arm, but look where his G and drive is. It's not even near it. So he's definitely holding it in his arm. And then there's another picture. There's two more pictures here as well. See, look, same concept. He's blocking a beam blast with it, but it's in his arm. Same thing with it right here. Down at the bottom, he's doing the same thing, but this is talking about the LED. So I don't know what gives about that, because there's nothing in the manual that actually even shows that off. Like, oh, wait. I'm dumb. I am completely dumb, folks. So there was something that showed us in the manual of him holding it, and I just overlooked it. Yes, I am stupid because I overlooked it. And let me push this back in here. So what I didn't notice, or in my case, quote unquote, failed to notice, was there was a peg. So you don't use the handle. Apparently there was a peg or something that goes in there. I might have screwed up something. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. So, remember what I said about these little pegs? I need one of them. So, I need to pull one out real quick. This is gonna take a while. Okay, I got one. Without damaging it too much. So, yeah. This little peg here. If I can, let me see. So, yeah. This little piece here goes into where, yeah, the LED cover is. Go freaking figure. So, I gotta peg this into here somehow. Yeah, there we go. And now this can be pegged onto the arm. I would assume so. It shows it's being pegged into the arm, but it's not working. Like, I'm going by what the manual shows, but it doesn't look like it's working all that well. Oh, it's like a normal shield at this point, so... Okay, so... basically... it goes into the arm, and it pegs in. So I'm going to take his arm off. And I might have to turn the arm around for this, because it's basically, actually that's the wrong way to turn his hand. I need to turn it to the palm is inwards. I mean, this is weird as I'll say it is, but it actually does make sense because there is a peg in here. Now, do I like this idea concept? I mean, it's something, but yeah, there he goes. It's pegged into his arm. I just overlooked that, like, oh, how did it do that? And I was expecting another piece, but yeah, there you go. It's pegged in there, but I will say, I already know what's going to happen. Wait, we'll get to this thing. Because this thing is, like I said, this is a big chunky piece of plastic. And it's not like just, oh, it's like one or two pieces. No, this is a lot of plastic on it. So I want to try something and see if, like, you know, I can maybe get his arm up with it on. Without, you know, the hands falling off. And no, I had him lean backwards so gravity was on his side. But the moment I tilted him forward upright, yeah, this thing does not work. And I don't like this peg. It doesn't feel like it wants to work. So yeah, It's doable, but maybe not doable. Or am I using the wrong hand for this? It might be the wrong hand I'm using, so let's try switching the hands up, because this is the last thing I want to show, and then we can actually get him fully loaded up with everything to say he is a 7-sword G. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it is supposed to be that way, because using the I want to say using the manipulators, because what I'm noticing is like right here there's a slot there, but that might correspond to with his hand. Maybe it's the way the slots are, or something in his hand that would maybe make it so it would work. I don't know. Like, this is the first time I built one of these, and you know, have to deal with something as massive as, you know, an overcompensating Buster Sword. Also, I'm trying to do something else with this and see if I can make it work. But the other hand may not like it. No, the other hand does not like this at all. Where's his hands? I just had his other fingers. There they are. So yeah, the thumb does not like this at all. Like, his thumb does not want to be like, I don't want to be in this at all. It's literally like, I don't want to. So yeah, I tried with both hands, and apparently maybe it's just something I'm not getting at or something, but this hand does not like yeah, this hand is not liking it whatsoever. Well, no, second thought, I got it. The hand isn't liking it whatsoever, though. Actually, the hand and the wrist isn't liking it, so I tried it. It just doesn't like it. It's not gonna want to hold for any reason whatsoever. Even with the slots in there that I'm seeing, I think they did the slots wrong, or maybe I just got it off angled or something, but yeah, it's not gonna work. So let's go ahead and get ready for, you know, final thoughts and what he looks like fully assembled. So to make him look like a full 7-sword G after doing all that, I'm going to switch back to the normal hands anyways, because he's not going to hold anything really. Well, I'm going to leave the right hand as it is, because I might just have him hold something. And besides, the left hand is pretty good, okay, for whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and put his extra hands and other stuff out the way. And let's go ahead and get on with this. I'm going to probably leave this in here as well. So for the first one, starting from the bottom up, the guitars, we're going to put one on each leg at the knees. So there's that. Please stand. This one will not be displayed as 7 sword G either. Or I don't know how I'm going to display this guy because he's... Oh boy. So the next up is the short sword, which goes on the right hip. Technically he has... The picture does show him wielding this in his right hand. But I think for all sense of purposes and sake of it, it's a left-handed weapon for him. Mainly because this should be his right-handed weapon if it would be like the primary use one. And we'll put this on his right hip. Jesus, this arm. I think this is like one of those things I can only gripe about with 00 is these shoulders. Well, these arms, really, not the shoulders, just the arms. So far he's already looking pretty filled out and at the bottom. So luckily for me, the shoulder parts are locked in. I'm going to leave this handle in here because it'll probably be good to help me pull this out too. So there's a little tab here at the top. I'm going to flip this out. And we just peg this. Oh. Actually, I have to extend the handle because the GN drive has to fit around there. So we're going to peg this into here. I said peg into there. Like GN drive. I know this is the case because that's basically the purpose of this, was for the GN drive to fit in here. Unless the GN drive isn't in far enough. Oh, that's probably what it was. The GN drive isn't sitting in all the way in. Wait, no, that shouldn't even matter though at this point though. There, it's in. It was in, but yeah. So now he has his Buster Sword on him. And we're going to go ahead and plug in his other sword. His Sword Blaster. So this is a 00 I keep wanting to say riser because I'm so used to riser. But here we are, 00 7 sword G. Dear God, and Jesus, he is kind of, that is a wide, semi-wide profile too. I know 00 riser has a wide profile, but geez, this isn't bad either. So yeah, that's basically him in a nutshell. Thoughts on him? It's not a bad kit overall. And actually, it's supposed to be closed. Overall, it's great. It's good. The design, it's 00, and it's a variation of 00. I mean, I am a sucker for 00 because I do like it. If I can play this one in a video game, definitely will. Heck, I think the first time I used the 00 in a video game was Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. And that was 00 Riser. but I ended up beating the game. Saw hard difficulty levels with Unicorn because Unicorn was busted, but this is Double O, and I do like it. It's really awesome. I do like it, and design wise it's nice because it's simple, because it's just a Gundam itself minus the bulk of his back, you know, that weighs him down. But overall he does a really good job of looking the part that he should. Do I think he fits being what I'm looking for is, do I feel he fits the part of being a Double O Gundam as such, you know, wielding this unruly stuff? That's hard to say, just because it's Double O. I mean, it's either a hit or a miss, and most times you prefer it to be a hit and not a miss. But it is what it is, so what you gonna do about it? In all hindsight though, I do like it because it actually is pretty gnarly, and it is something I did have my eyes on at one point, and I wanted it, but I just say, no, I'll hold off on it. And then I see X and Rise, and I was like, I want that. And now I come back and I see this, and I'm like, you know what? It's not a bad idea to grab it. And now that I have it, I'm like, I'm glad I grabbed it, built it, and overall, it looks amazing. I mean, it fits in the aesthetic of it being blue. It has a lot of blue to go around on it. Especially in the, that shoulder profile does give it a lot of blue. More so on the left than the right, but you just see that big blue piece right there. It's like, okay, it's enough blue for me. I mean, this is 7 Sword G, and that still boggles my mind of, okay, you're 7 Sword G, where's the 7 swords? But I'm like, I see the 7, but I'm not sure if I'm counting them right or not. Because I definitely know I got 4 of them right, because this is 1 and this is 2. This would be 3 and this would be 4. That's half. And now the problem of 5 through 7 comes in the form of these, of the beam sabers and the guitars. Unless you're going to say the beam sabers is 5 and 6 and this is 7 and this is 7, I guess. But I think the beam sabers counts as 5 and these are 6 and 7, so yeah, I can see this being 7 swords. And he does fit the part. Now, on the shelf next to the other Double O's, he may not have as big as a profile compared to them, but he does have a decent profile nonetheless. And I can also see that his long sword is kind of acting like a third leg for him. And technically, this guy would technically have like 5 legs or so helping him stand. And I was afraid that was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, because it's just the nature of Double O kits. But overall, I like this. It's a great design because it's Double O, and I like Double O's design, just minus the feet and a few other parts here and there like the arms. But this is something I do like overall, and I actually, if I find the right spot on the shelf for him, he's going to stay just like this, because I am not going to be like, oh, I got to find another spot for you, or maybe remove some of your stuff. No, you're staying just like this. But overall, if you like Double O and you want one, any of the Double O's is worth getting. Now, I would just say this one, if you want in terms of which one takes the less amount of time to build, this is the one, because you're just building a Gundam and a bunch of weapons. That's it. That's all you're really doing. A Gundam and its weapons. Whereas the others, you have to build the old riser, and then the other one has old riser plus X-end riser. So yeah, there's that. So overall, this one is the win-win situation for you. If you want a double O, but you don't want something that takes forever long to build. Unless you're me, you just got time to spare. But overall, it's worth getting because as far as I know, you're not going to see this in high grade nor real grade. As I don't think it's in high grade or real grade. I don't think this is in perfect grade. It might be in perfect grade, I don't know, but I know double risers in all grades. But yeah, overall, it's a good thing to have. It's worth the price. For its age, for when it came out, it's doing pretty good. It holds up well. I can't complain about it. So if you like double O and you like an MSV, go grab it.